Hey.
Hello.
It's my favorite time of the month again, pizza and beer. I'm sorry. My arm's only so long. There we go.
There we go. And I'm on my tippy toes.
Oh, that works out. It's pizza and beer night.
That's right.
If you hear people in cars yelling, it's because I look like I'm taking a poop on the sidewalk.
I mean, he might be. I haven't looked.
Well, I am now.
But other than that, Gregg's Pizza is here tonight.
Absolutely, an institution of Johnson City Pizza. Gregg's Pizza, my parents dated at Gregg's Pizza, late 60s, I know.
So you're saying one of them could have been an heir to the Gregg's Pizza throne?
Well, they could have at least eaten enough to own part of the company by now. But yeah, Gregg's Pizza going to be here. We're going to eat some pizza, and we're going to talk to Eddy. He's the current owner of Gregg's Pizza, and I have a lot of questions. It's been a long time. I mean, that place has been there forever. I want to get a little idea of where they've been, where they're going, and what's coming next. Because when a place has been around that long,
you know it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is literally what the first taste of pizza in this area was for a lot of people.
And to this day, the Volcano Pizza is still one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
When I was a kid, I used to call it hot lobby pizza.
I may start calling it that.
The hot lobby pizza.
But yeah, we got a lot to cover. I'm going to try to ask as much as I can in about 15 minutes. Bailey's got to go to rehearsal. Wish she could hang out with us, but Bailey will be back, and we'll have a new episode coming out. Let's call it a week
soon.
Or two.
Yeah.
We've been really busy separately. So we'll see you soon. And now let's watch some Gregg's Pizza. Well, let's go eat some Gregg's Pizza.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold you up anymore. Let's go.
Attention please. Welcome to Johnson City Brewing Company and the latest installment of Pizza and Beer Life. We want to thank you for being here. Tonight we've got Eddy Zayas-Bazan, right, from Gregg's Pizza here in town. Let's give it up for Eddy and his crew. You guys had Gregg's Pizza before? Yes. Pretty phenomenal, so we're pretty excited about it tonight. Excited to have you all here. Thank you for doing this. This Pizza and Beer Life thing that we've been doing this year, we try to do it once a month. And essentially we started this program because we love pizza and beer, but also we tend to think that with our business, with our small business, there's, especially brewing beer, there's a whole lot more to brewing beer than just making it. We believe it's the same way with pizza. And as a small business, we like to work with other businesses to try and co-promote, support each other, and to keep things going. So we appreciate you all being here tonight. Right now we're going to just ask everybody to help yourself to the pizzas. Eddy, what did you guys bring here tonight?
We have quite an assortment. I've got three pizzas that are gluten-free, crust. And then we also brought a Gregg special, which is one of our best sellers, large pepperoni. We brought some at everything, which is the traditional Volcano, the 10-topping pizza, and cheese pizza, meat lovers, and a veggie pizza. So we have a good assortment. I hope you all like it.
Very good. It was wonderful. Another thing that we want to mention here is that Shannon Brown with Hometown East Tennessee is here. Let's give it up for Shannon. And Shannon and Bailey do a program. Actually, I think you guys have been to almost every single one of these pizzas.
Yeah, we missed the very first one.
First one, yeah. Then we said we need somebody to document this, and so we got Shannon and Bailey here tonight who are going to be interviewing Eddy, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
I guess Eddy, you're going to hang out for a little bit if people want to talk to you about your business, your products.
Sure.
And we just hope everybody has a good time. So once again, thank you very much for being here.
How y'all doing? I'm Shannon. I'm with Hometown East Tennessee. You can find us at hometownjc.com. That'll take you to our YouTube page. My neighbor Bailey and I, we grew up in Johnson City. Our family's from Johnson City. So we started a web show about Johnson City where we just talk to the interesting people, the people that do things and make things happen locally. And we try to talk a little about local culture. And luckily, got to know Eric and Kat and Johnson City Brewing, and they had us come down for pizza and beer. Well, we've got beer, we got pizza, we got the pizzeria owner. So we got a little of everything. So today we're talking to the owner of Gregg's Pizza, Eddy. What's your full name, Eddy?
Eddy Zayas-Bazan.
Eddy Zayas-Bazan.
Yes.
Wow. I hope I got close.
That's a handful.
I've been known to butcher almost every name of everyone, even John Smith. I completely butchered it one day. So everyone has already had a chance to grab some Gregg's Pizza. Everybody, what do you think? You having a good time? Gregg's Pizza is the iconic Johnson City pie. I mean, yeah, my parents. I was telling Eddy this earlier. My parents, when they dated in the mid '60s, went to Gregg's Pizza, and to this day, when I get directions to anything in that part of town, it starts with, well, you go to Gregg's Pizza, and that's how they navigate the town. Where to even start? How did you become the owner of Gregg's Pizza?
Well, I had moved here from Florida. I'd taken early retirement, and I was thinking, what am I going to do next? And my accountant approached me. She goes, I told her I had been interested in going into the restaurant business. She said, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Yeah, I really am." And she goes, "Well, let's see if you qualify, but there's a pretty prominent restaurant in town that's up for sale, and if you qualify, we'll look at your credentials and your balance sheet, and we'll see what happens." So,
wow,
and the rest is history.
How long ago was that?
That was 6 years ago.
Oh, 6 years ago. And before that, do you know how many owners the business has had?
The business has had 3 owners. The initial owner is Gregg Campanello. He started in 1957 in Elkhart, Indiana.
Wow.
He has 3 stores up there. And, what really happened was Gregg had some friends from Johnson City, Tennessee. And they kept saying, you need to put a pizzeria in Johnson City, Tennessee. You need to put a pizzeria in Johnson City, Tennessee. And Gregg kind of scratched his head and said, I don't know about Johnson City, Tennessee. And what happened was, I don't know if it was, Elkhart is a big RV industry town. And I don't know if it was through the RVs or through his love of golf, but the friends were persistent. So Gregg came down to Johnson City, and I don't know if y'all know where the old Ash Street Courthouse is. It's on Walnut Street.
It's now the 911 building, right?
It's now the 911 building. And there used to be a restaurant called Rainbow Corner. And Rainbow Corner was owned by Bill Darden Sr. And you may know that last name because Steve Darden was an ex-mayor of Johnson City. And he approached Bill Darden Sr. He said, I'd like to put a pizzeria in. I think it'd really go well. I've got people bothering me and bugging me about doing it. I think it'd be a great idea. And Bill Darden Sr. looked at him. And this is Steve. His son told me the story.
Oh.
He said, I don't think pizza's going to do well in Johnson City, Tennessee. This was in 1962. So the rest is history. I mean, wow. Gregg went on and he said, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And that's how it started. In Johnson City, there used to be, in this area, 4 stores, because there was one that I used to go to on Greenwood Drive. There was a Wright supermarket there on Greenwood Drive. And it was across from University Apartments, and then we had one in Bristol, and then we had the one in Elizabethton. But the one in Johnson City started in 1963.
Wow, that's amazing.
A lot of history.
And that, I mean, some say that it was Gregg's that brought pizza to Johnson City. Because when I bite into the Volcano, which is the classic and the Volcano, I bit into but one of each. To me, from my childhood, that is what pizza tasted like. There is something absolutely unique about the way a Gregg's Pizza comes together that I can't mistake it for anything else.
Well, we make a lot of the toppings in-house, which separates us from a lot of the pizzerias. We make the Italian sausage there. We make the hamburger there. If you're eating spaghetti, everything is made there. The meatballs are made there. We have a steak sandwich. We make the top round and marinate it there. So we do a lot of everything in-house. Also, we put the cheese, the toppings underneath the cheese, which kind of differentiates us from the other ones. So, and we only buy the finest ingredients. We buy about 5,000 pounds of cheese every 3 weeks.
Wow, every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks.
Good grief. That's awesome. So I guess business hasn't slacked off too much in the last
No, it hasn't.
50 years.
Thank God.
That's awesome. And your crust is also kind of
It's a hand-tossed pizza. You know, you could go into an assembly line pizza, but I got to tell you, I think part of the thing why people like Gregg's Pizza is because of the artisan factor of tossing up the cheese. And I get told so many times, and I never get tired of hearing it, hey, I was at Gregg's Pizza and my parents got engaged, at Gregg's Pizza while they were watching, a pizza maker toss up the pizza. So that's pretty cool. And I wanted to, and my wife and I, Cindy, wanted to continue that legacy. And I couldn't do it without her because, there's a lot of history there. And one of the things is, there's so many high volume pizzerias, and I'm not, the ones, the franchises. And there's something different about a small business. It takes a lot of pride in doing it the correct way and not cutting any corners. And if you come to Gregg's Pizza early in the week, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, we're cooking everything. I'm in the kitchen cooking, and it's pretty labor intensive, and it's a lot of work. But you know what? I never get tired of doing it.
Oh, that's great. It shows. I mean, it shows. Your wife's going to have to come back and do an interview with me because I was talking to her early on, and I had all kinds of great stories. I'm not going to try to translate those, but she was telling me again about generations of people who've met and dated at Gregg's Pizza. It was one of those places. Has it always been in that location?
It has always been in that location. There used to be a Wright supermarket. Now the initial location there has been chopped up in the building who knows how many times. But yeah, it's always been in that same very location. And people say, well, Eddie, why don't you move someplace else? Why don't you, try to expand? When it's always been there and business is good, you kind of hate to mess with the location.
It's not broke.
It's not broke. Don't fix it.
Right. When you came along, did you have any just ideas about adding things to the menu, kind of making a statement and changing things up a little bit?
I've changed things up a little bit in that we brought in a gluten-free crust pizza. We brought in some desserts. We brought in an Italian sandwich. But no, you know what? One thing that I've learned is a lot of restaurateurs, and I read a lot before I took over this business, and I went to the ETSU Small Business Development Center and got a lot of counseling, and had my wife praying for me too before buying the business. And one of the things that was resounding to me was, you don't mess with success. You don't start reinventing the wheel. You don't start reinventing the menu, because that's how a lot of businesses go out of business.
I can see it, especially, again, Gregg's is so close to Johnson City. It's so mixed in with the identity of the town. There aren't many places with that kind of longevity left in town. Now, across the street here, we had Massengill's that was open for several lifetimes.
Just closed.
And they just closed. And so it breaks my heart to see these iconic stores go. And we're so glad to see Gregg's just keep on trucking and keep on serving the good pies. Everybody's had their pizza. What's your favorites? Pepperoni. Supreme. That's the thing. And in case you can't hear it, on the camera, they're absolutely right. One of the iconic flavors in a Gregg's Pizza to me is that hamburger. It's a complete layer of hamburger, and it tastes homemade. It tastes like what my mom would be making.
It is. We make the hamburger there. We make the Italian sausage there, and we put tons of toppings on there. So that's the difference between us and the other ones. We really try to put an exaggerated amount of toppings. So I'm not going to get into the price wars, but I'm going to make sure that you don't leave hungry.
That's awesome.
Look at me. I'm not hungry, so you're not going to be hungry.
Too much is just enough. We got a little bit of time left. Do we have any questions for Eddie about Gregg's, about pizza? No?
Don't be shy.
I know too much about it.
Eric. Sure.
So where do you go from here? You've been doing it for a while, you've been in business for a while, you've been in management for a while, putting out great product. Where do you go from here?
Let me repeat the question for those watching at home. The question from Eric was, where do you go from here? You've been an iconic restaurant now for generations. What's next?
Well, ideally, my wife and I have talked. We would like to have maybe one in Bristol and one in Kingsport, but we'll see what the future holds. We work hard and we try to put the best product. One thing I don't want to do, and I've read a lot about this. There's a lot of Colonel Sanders. They would expand, and he was not happy with when he franchised his stores because he didn't think the quality was there. Quality is very important to us, Cindy and I. We want to make sure we put out the best product. So I've got to be sure that if we expand, we make sure we put out a quality product. There's a lot of Gregg's Pizza imitators, but they're not using the same cheese. They're not making everything like we do. So that's a little bit different because I'm not going to skimp on anything. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? That is key for me because if someone comes in and they say, hey, that's not the same, I'm very upset. And Cindy is too.
Off the top of your head, do you know what's the address of Gregg's Pizza for folks that are watching the
111 Broyles Drive, Suite 5, Johnson City, Tennessee, 37601. You can also find us at greggspizzatn.com, and there's a lot of history about Gregg's Pizza on our website. So if you've not been there, it's kind of cool because we got a lot of history there. And you could go to Gregg's Pizza of Johnson City, Tennessee, TN on Facebook, and Gregg's Pizza of Elizabethton on Facebook. You'll find a lot of history about Gregg's Pizza on all those sites.
I'm definitely going to read up on all of that. And if you have trouble finding it, just stop and ask anyone.
Or call the store and I'll talk to you.
That too. Really, you just roll the window down. Hey, can you tell me where Gregg's is? Duh. Eddie, thank you so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
Actually, wait, I forgot where we're at. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
And cheers to everybody else. Thank you all for coming out for pizza and beer. HometownJC.com. And I'm going to go eat pizza.
I am too.
We'll see y'all.
And the beer is awesome.